Parker Schnabel is at a big turning point where he might become a gold mining hero or end up a cautionary story. He's thinking about spending a lot of money on Dominion Creek, a move full of risks but also could bring him a lot of gold. Parker has been successful in gold mining for years, but this choice is his toughest yet. It's more than just a business decision. It's about what kind of future he wants. Join us to see if Parker's big bet on finding gold will pay off or lead to trouble. On the brink, Parker Schnabel's gold adventure. Parker Schnabel, widely admired in the gold mining world for his golden touch, now faces a decision that feels more like a scene from an ancient drama than a careful business choice. This moment is far from a regular day for him. It could either make him a legend in gold mining history or turn him into a cautionary tale told in the wild Yukon. This story isn't just about the charm of gold, it's a tale filled with dreams of success, the dangers of risk, and the constant chase for wealth, all set against a background where the risk of failure is just as big as the possible rewards. For more than 10 years, Schnabel has been lucky, finding fortune through a mix of bold youthfulness and the wisdom of an experienced miner. His path has been marked by many successes, showing his strong determination. But as we look closer at his recent big risk, the decision to go for Dominion Creek, we have to wonder, is this bravery or recklessness? He's at a crossroads. He can either become a legend in gold mining or risk going broke, a very real threat in the tough Yukon. Dominion Creek isn't just any piece of land. It's the biggest challenge Schnabel has ever faced. As a miner who's seen both successes and failures, he's now dealing with a choice that's much bigger than any he's had to make before. So far, we've seen Schnabel as a hero, but even heroes have to face the truth. Buying this creek is more than just spending money. It's a risky leap into the unknown, filled with danger at every step. Gold mining, despite its glamorous image, is actually a tough game of planning and persistence. You're either winning big or you're forgotten. Parker, who's built a fortune from gold, is used to taking big risks, but this time, the risk might be too big even for him. Dominion Creek is more than just a chance to find more gold. It's a complex challenge of money and planning that could test the will of any experienced miner. As Parker faces this huge decision, you can feel the tension in the air. This isn't just a business choice, it's a high-stakes risk. This moment sums up Schnabel's entire journey, a mix of daring goals and the tough reality of gold mining. The Yukon, with its harsh land and hidden gold, is a big challenge. It asks for more than just physical strength and money, it needs careful planning and a strong spirit. In this journey, Schnabel isn't just looking for gold, he's following a dream, one as hard to catch as gold itself. The search for Dominion Creek is more than just looking for wealth. It's a test of Schnabel's true nature as a miner. When he brings in Liam Ferguson, a top drilling expert, we see that success here needs more than just digging in the right place. It requires clever thinking, planning ahead, and a bit of luck. But as Schnabel gets closer to his dream, the story takes a new twist. Dean Russell, the owner of Dominion Creek, isn't just watching from the sidelines, he holds the keys to Schnabel's dream. Their conversation, which seems simple, is actually full of tension and unsaid risks. Parker Schnabel is at a critical moment, with big choices ahead that could change his life and career in gold mining. Deciding fate, Parker's critical choice. Parker Schnabel is at a major turning point, facing decisions that could completely change his life. The atmosphere is charged with a level of tension you'd expect from a high-stakes poker match, not the dusty world of gold mining. The news about the possible sale of Dominion Creek by Dean wasn't just a surprise, it hit like a ton of bricks, shaking up Parker's plans and potentially his whole future in mining. This wasn't just a small change in the story, it was a massive shake-up. The fact that an American group was also interested in the mine made things even more complicated. Here was Parker, who had made a name for himself in the tough Yukon wilderness, now facing a huge challenge to his career in mining. On top of the business issues, Dean talking about wanting to retire and spend more time with his family added a personal touch to the situation. reminding everyone of the real-life stories behind the scenes of mining. Dominion Creek is huge, covering 7,500 acres, and it comes with a mining license that's only good for 7 more years. This wasn't just about buying land, it was a race against time and a very high-risk gamble. The deal also included houses, utilities underground and other properties, making it a complicated decision about more than just mining. It was about the history and lives connected to this land. This possible sale made Parker stop and think hard about what to do next. The distance, the huge area of the land, and the rich history of the Dominion Creek mining claims all added up to a big decision for Parker. His talks with Dean were full of unspoken worries and careful planning, turning their conversation into a strategic game about the future of mining in the Yukon. For those who might not know much about mining, Dominion Creek is very special. It's a piece of land with a lot of history, dating back to the gold rush of 1896. This quest isn't just about digging up the earth, it's about connecting with the past and finding the gold left behind by miners long ago, using modern technology. As Parker thought about Dean's offer, he couldn't ignore the weight of history and the stories of fortune and loss tied to this land. The work done by Liam wasn't just about drilling holes, it was an exploration into the unknown, searching for certainty in a business full of risks, discussing the drilling results, negotiating prices, and carefully making commitments added suspense and worry to their story. Parker didn't want to rush, while Dean was pushing for a quick decision, bringing a personal drama to their business dealings. After the negotiations, Parker looked visibly stressed and deep in thought. Learning that Dean wanted $15 million wasn't just a shock because of the money involved. It was a critical moment in Parker's story. His open and honest approach to discussing this issue with his team showed how serious the situation was. Parker, thinking over the offer compared to what he might find at Australia Creek, turned his story into one about weighing risks and rewards. He was at a crucial point, not just in business, but in who he was as a miner. The choice he faced was huge, affecting not just his finances, but also what kind of person he wanted to be in the mining world. Parker Schnabel faces a huge choice that could change everything for him in the gold mining world. Parker's leap, chasing gold or chasing dreams. Parker Schnabel finds himself in a tough spot, more akin to what you'd expect from someone gambling everything they have, rather than digging for gold. He's at a critical moment, deciding whether to invest all his money into a gold mine that might not pay off. This situation is treated with a seriousness usually reserved for life-changing moments, making the tension feel so intense it's almost too much, as if the whole world's fate depends on Parker's decision in the gold mining business. This point in Parker's life is made to seem incredibly dramatic, almost like something you'd see on a reality TV show where every choice is blown out of proportion. The story makes it seem like buying this piece of land isn't just a regular business move, but a massive risk that could either make Parker incredibly successful in the Klondike or lead to total financial disaster. We're shown Parker's deep worries and excitement in a way that feels more suited for a drama show than the real-life business of mining for gold. The way Parker thinks over whether to take this risk or avoid it is shown as a huge, life-changing decision. He's portrayed as the hero of his own story, standing at a crossroad that could determine his entire future. This dramatic setup makes the whole situation seem even more critical and suspenseful than it might actually be, especially since we're really just talking about a business decision. The story also dives into Parker's personal thoughts, reflecting on all the hard work and ambition that got him to this point. It suggests that this decision could affect not just Parker's financial situation, but who he is as a person and a miner. This deep look into Parker's thoughts adds an interesting layer to the story, although it's presented with a hint of skepticism, suggesting that Parker's choice is as much about his personal legacy as it is about making a smart business decision. When we learn that the deal could cost $15 million, the pressure really ramps up. It turns Parker's decision into a major gamble, with his entire future in mining on the line. The story suggests a sense of doubt about such high-risk deals, adding a feeling of doom to Parker's situation. This doubt makes it seem like Parker's mind is overwhelmed not just by the gravity of the decision, but by the sheer craziness of the risk he's considering. As Parker weighs his options, the story becomes even more dramatic, showing him on the verge of either great success or a huge failure. The suspense builds up to extreme levels, making it seem like Parker's next move could change everything for him. The moment he and Dean discuss the deal, with Parker ready to write the biggest check of his life, is described as if it's a key scene in an adventure story. Their mutual support and the final agreement are shown as more than just a business deal. They're seen as a major turning point, marking the start of a new chapter in Parker's career. Reflecting on the investment in Dominion Creek, Parker seems cautious, almost unsure about what the future holds. This isn't just about money, it's about Parker stepping into unknown territory, full of risks and possibilities. Parker risks $15 million on a big gold mining project, facing a huge gamble with his future on the line. Parker's $15 million gamble in the gold rush. Parker Schnabel is on a risky adventure, chasing after gold and fame, and now he's facing a huge financial risk. He's put an incredible $15 million into a project that could either bring him a fortune or turn out to be a very costly mistake in the Klondike. This isn't just any risk, it's the type that could make him a legend in gold mining or a warning story about being overly confident. This massive amount of money Parker has invested is more than just a payment. It's his ticket to the big leagues of gold mining. The stakes are incredibly high, not just in terms of the dirt and rocks they're moving, but in the millions of dollars riding on the hope of finding lots of gold. However, this hopeful dream lies deep beneath 40 feet of the Yukon's frozen ground, requiring even more money to access. The situation gets more complicated with the possibility of huge debts, making Parker's confident steps look more like a risky balancing act over a potential financial disaster. As Parker and his team work on Dominion Creek, they're under a lot of pressure. The area they're mining isn't just any land. It's a massive challenge, testing both their determination and their financial stability. The team has moved from having a safety net of cash to facing the real possibility of going into debt. The fear of going bankrupt is a constant shadow over their work, reminding them of the delicate balance they're trying to maintain. At just 28 years old, Parker's goal to build a mining empire in the Klondike shows incredible boldness, perhaps even a bit of recklessness. By betting everything on Dominion Creek, hoping to uncover gold worth $160 million, Parker positions himself as a bold modern-day miner. However, the initial thrill of this new venture quickly meets the tough reality of mining as expenses pile up and the hoped-for wealth starts to seem more like a mirage. A few weeks into this project, the harsh truth becomes clear. With money running out and not enough gold found, Parker's big plan seems to be crumbling. The thought of losing everything in just a few weeks is a tough pill to swallow, testing his determination, his plans, and maybe his sanity. This risky situation brings up serious questions about Parker's future and the inherently risky nature of mining for gold. The tension is thick as Parker and his team keep digging, trying to find gold before their money runs out. Parker and his team dive deeper into their quest for gold, facing even bigger hurdles and tough decisions. Hitting snags, Parker's rocky road to gold. Parker Schnabel's adventure in the harsh Yukon wilderness, searching for gold, feels like a story filled with high risks and drama. He's invested a huge amount of money in this new piece of land, but instead of finding gold quickly, they've hit hard rock. They still have a long way to go before they reach the layer of earth where they hope to find gold, and they only have 10 weeks left to do it. The pressure is really on, making everyone feel as tense as the thick mud they're digging through. They're not just moving dirt, they're trying to meet high expectations, all while dealing with the worry that their big bet might not pay off. Going after gold in this area, which is known for its past riches, feels like they're chasing after old stories of wealth. They're hoping to find a lot of gold based on what they've heard from miners who worked this land long ago. Parker decides to focus on getting gold out of the ground in the most effective way possible, which shows he's really in a hurry to see some results. It's like he's racing to make money quickly to keep his mining operation going and avoid running out of funds. Parker tries using a smaller machine, a mini trommel, to test a small area for gold. This cautious move is a bit different from his usual big risks. However, this test is a stark reminder of the gamble they're taking. Even a little bit of gold is crucial when they've invested so much. A key test to find 155 milligrams of gold turns out to be very important. The team tries to keep things light with jokes and guesses about how much gold they'll find, but the worry of failure hangs over them. Their results are way below what they hoped for, making this moment feel more like they're on the edge of a cliff rather than just facing a small setback. With this tough reality hitting them, the story changes from an exciting adventure to a serious struggle to keep going. Buying a lot of land and hoping for a big payoff in gold is suddenly up against immediate problems like broken machinery and bad weather. This shows they're fighting two big battles, one against the harsh outdoor conditions and another against time. When they do find a good amount of gold, it's a brief moment of success, but the hard work doesn't stop. The machinery they're relying on, named Slucifer and Big Red, are crucial to their search for gold. But pushing them to their limits shows just how risky and rewarding looking for gold can be. But then there's a big problem with the grizzly bars, a key part of their equipment that threatens the whole operation. This issue highlights how uncertain and full of obstacles Parker's quest for gold is. Right when everything was going smooth, the Big Red machine breaks down, adding new drama to Parker's gold hunt. Machine trouble, Parker's big Yukon problem. Fixing the break, drama in the gold hunt. Parker's tough fix, saving the Big Red machine. Quick fixes, Parker's race to keep mining. Broken machines and big dreams, Parker's Yukon challenge. Mitch Blaschke had to make a quick decision when the grizzly bars on the Big Red mining machine started to fail. It felt like a moment straight out of a TV show, adding unexpected drama to their mining efforts in the Yukon. The grizzly bars are crucial for making sure the machine works smoothly without getting clogged, but they were giving in to the harsh conditions of the Yukon, bending and breaking. This problem seemed almost too perfectly timed, like something you'd see in a TV series to keep viewers hooked. Ty was called in, not just as an ordinary mechanic, but as the hero needed to fix this big problem. The damage to Big Red was severe, like something out of a mechanic's worst fear, showing not just how tough the job was on the machines, but also adding a twist to the story for anyone watching. The fix involved welding, which was only a temporary solution in the ongoing battle to keep everything running. This kind of quick repair job highlights the reality of mining for gold. It's all about making do, keeping your fingers crossed, and constantly fighting against nature. Instead of just taking a moment to figure things out, this break in work was used to set up the next big challenge. They decided to slow down how much dirt and rock they were feeding into Big Red to prevent any more damage. This decision, while smart, made everyone question whether they could keep up their work efficiently and whether all this effort was going to pay off in the end. It felt like the success of their entire season depended on getting this balance right. In the middle of all these machine problems, Parker Schnabel took a moment to thank Ty for his hard work. This showed a more human side to the whole operation, a break from the noise of machines and the mess of mud. However, even this thank you moment felt a bit like something you'd see on a reality TV show, where every kind word is shadowed by the anticipation of what might go wrong next. The story then moves to talk about some dangerous and unexpected moments they've had, like wild animal encounters and accidents with their trucks. These stories add an element of danger and excitement to their mining work, making it seem like an adventure not just against the land but also against the wild elements of the Yukon. Despite these challenges, they had a big win, finding 5,372 ounces of gold, a reminder of why they keep facing all these risks season after season. However, this victory is just a brief bright spot amid constant issues with their equipment and the tough conditions they work in. Big Red and another machine, Slucifer, are pushed to their limits, symbolizing the ongoing struggle between their big dreams and the harsh realities of mining. Their success is just one part of a bigger story about trying to survive and thrive in the tough world of gold mining. As the story goes on, Parker's decision to spend $15 million on Dominion Creek adds even more tension. This new land is a big opportunity, but also a huge risk, making the future of Parker's mining efforts even more uncertain. The tale of their work at Dominion Creek and their whole adventure in the Yukon is a mix of real challenges and dramatic storytelling, keeping everyone guessing about what will happen next. In gold mining, the only thing you can be sure of is that nothing is certain until you actually find gold. What should Parker do next? Hit like, subscribe for more adventures, and tell us your ideas in the comments.